I'm Yasmin Saeed and you're tuned into the English news programme on Somaliland National Television. Broadcasting from our studios in Hargeisa, Somaliland, these are the stories making local headlines. President of Somaliland holds diplomatic talks with President of neighbouring nation Somalia in Ankara, Turkey. Permanent Committee of Somaliland's House of Elders holds meeting on proposing criminal laws against those who speak or act against Islam. Somaliland's House of Representatives holds consultative gathering for several key players working to strengthen the nation's environment. Egyptian judge resigns from high-profile Hosni Mubarak case. President of Somaliland, Ahmed Silanyo, met with President of neighbouring nation Somalia, Hassan Sheikh Mohamud. The purpose of these diplomatic talks is to further clarify relations between both nations.
Both neighboring nations have held diplomatic talks in the past as Somaliland and Somalia attempt to further clarify relations. The Somaliland delegation, comprised of senior government officials, met with counterparts. The talks being held in Ankara, Turkey, are expected to highlight mutual areas of significance. Both President Ahmed Silanyo and President of neighboring nation Somalia, Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, have not met in the past on an official capacity. However, political analysts predict that the international mediation and support will play a crucial role in further progressing the mutual agendas of both nations. President Ahmed Silanyo and his Somalia counterpart also met with top Turkey government officials.
Deputy Speaker of Somaliland's House of Elders, Awal Hussein Ahmed, hosted a meeting with the Propagation of Good and Abstaining from Evil Committee. The aim of their meeting was to discuss the means in which a draft law could be proposed to prosecute any individual found guilty of speaking or acting directly against the religion of Islam. Deputy Chairman of the Propagation of Good and Abstaining from Evil Committee, Sheikh Ali Yusuf, spoke on the urgency of proposing, drafting and passing this law. He stressed the need for the government and citizens alike to hold Islam at the highest calibre by prosecuting those found guilty in a court of law for speaking or acting directly against the religion of Islam. The meeting took place with parliamentarians comprised of the Permanent Committee of Somaliland's House of Elders. Deputy Speaker of Somaliland's House of Elders, Awal Hussein Ahmed, pledged to work hand in hand with the Islamic Committee to ensure that such a law be passed. He highlighted the importance of safeguarding the religion and holding those individuals accountable who, through a judicial process, are found in the wrong for speaking or acting against Islam. Protecting the nation's environment has transpired as a main concern for this administration, with the ministry and governmental agencies focusing solely on strengthening the environment. Vice Deputy Speaker Ali Yusuf Ahmed held a consultative gathering with the respective parties to deliberate and discuss on methods of further developing this crucial area of interest.
Participants at the event included Chairman of NERAD, the National Environment Agency, students, environmental organizations, activists, and a number of other involved individuals. Vice Deputy Speaker of Somaliland's House of Representatives, Ali Yusuf Ahmed, pointed out the commitment of this government to assist and support any and all efforts in promoting a more clean and friendly environment. The Environment and Natural Resource Committee of Somaliland's House of Representatives provided a detailed briefing to attendees of the consultative gathering on research compiled from all regions of Somaliland. Saeed Mohammed Ilmi, committee chairman, proposed the best means of establishing an environmental draft law. Chairman of NERAD, Mohammed Musa Awala, elaborated on preventive methods and solutions to current environment problems occurring throughout the nation. He insisted through joint cooperation much can be achieved, and the overall significance of establishing the national environment law.
You're still tuned into the English news programme on Somaliland National Television, the only Somali-speaking channel with an English news programme. And now for our international headlines in detail. The chief judge responsible for administering the high-profile court case of former President of Egypt, Hosni Mubarak, resigned from his position. A judge presiding over the retrial of former Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak, along with his former Interior Minister, has withdrawn from the case and referred to it at the appeals court. Judge Mustafa Hassan Abdullah announced his decision on Saturday at the start of the retrial at a police academy on the outskirts of Cairo, where the 84-year-old former president had earlier been flown in by a helicopter. As the judge filed out of the courtroom, uproar erupted with the people shouting and waving their arms. Civil society lawyers attending the trial chanted, "The people want the execution of the president." Mubarak, his former Interior Minister Habib al-Adli, and ex-security chiefs are accused of complicity in the murder of protesters during the uprising that unseated him in 2011. Television footage showed Mubarak dressed in white and wearing sunglasses, wheeled out of an ambulance on a stretcher on Saturday and taken into Cairo's police academy where the trial was being held. Egypt's highest appeals court ordered a retrial in January after accepting appeals from both the defence and the prosecution. Health advocates and organisations are warning of a refugee crisis in Mauritania as thousands of Malian refugees flood into the nation. Medical charity Doctors Without Borders is warning that thousands of Malian refugees in a UN-run camp in the neighbouring Mauritania are facing appalling conditions. Healthy people are falling sick upon arrival, they have to build their own shelters, and there is currently only one toilet for every 3,000 people. The Mabera camp holds 70,000 refugees in one of Mauritania's remotest corners. The charity said conditions have worsened since France's military intervention in January. The charity said a total of 100,000 people from northern Mali are currently displaced, either within Mali or in neighbouring states. It is calling on aid agencies working within the camp under UNHCR coordination to redouble their efforts. The United States will defend its allies and itself if North Korea goes ahead and carries out its threat of launching war against southern neighbour. John Kerry, the US Secretary of State, has said.
U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry is in Beijing as part of his 4-day East Asia tour, along with strengthening relations between the United States and China. He will also discuss the deepening Korean Peninsula crisis. Kerry hopes to persuade China's top leaders to put pressure on North Korea to scale back its rhetoric and eventually return to talks over its nuclear program. While John Kerry holds talks in China, NATO General Anders Fogh Rasmussen has visited the demilitarized zone that divides North and South Korea. This is his first visit to the area since taking office.
That's the end of our daily English news programme. Thank you for watching. Be sure to catch us tomorrow at the same time. Take care and goodbye.